Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Mindset Monday, episode number 12. I'm RodrickWaddle. I want to start this video off with a story. I was driving 18-wheeler. I used to drive 18-wheelers. I was driving a truck several years ago, around maybe 2013 or so. I was in East Texas, and I drove across this bridge. And when I looked out over the water, I saw trees growing up out of the middle of the water, right? The trees were growing up out of the water. So apparently they were rooted there. It was dirt under the water. They were rooted in, and they had water all around them, right? But I looked on the trees, and they didn't have any leaves on them. And I thought to myself, like, wow, this tree is right in the middle of what it needs, right? There's water all around it. Trees need water. There's so much water around it. It's apparently rooted in soil, but it don't have no leaves on it. And I just kind of thought to myself, and I was like, wow, why is this tree is right in the middle of what it needs, but it doesn't have any leaves or any fruit or anything on it? And I kind of prayed. I kind of asked the Lord, like, Lord, what's up with this? This tree is right in the middle of what it needs, but there's nothing on it. And the Lord spoke to my spirit, and He kind of said, even though it's right in the middle of what it needs, it's still subject to the seasons. And I was like, wow. Even though it's right in the middle of what it needs, it's still subject to the seasons. And that's what I want to encourage you with today. You may be in the right place. You may be right in the middle of what you need, or maybe you're not. Maybe you need to make some adjustments. But even still, you might be right in the middle of what you need. But you got to understand that your life is still subject to the seasons, and you got to understand the seasons. Psalms 1 and 3, it says that He will be like a tree planted by rivers of water, who will bring forth fruit in His season, and whatsoever He does shall prosper. We like to skip to the whatsoever He does shall prosper part, and that's all good. But it says bring forth fruit in His season. We got to be aware of the seasons. Now, when we look at the definition of season, it's one of 4 periods of the year: spring, summer, autumn, and winter, beginning astronomically at an equinox or solstice, but geographically at different dates and different climates. So it could be a different season for somebody else in a different place, right? We're not always all in the same season. It means a period of the year characterized by particular conditions of weather, temperature, etc. A period of the year when something is best or available. A period of the year marked by certain conditions or activities, etc. So there's certain things that need to be done at different times in different seasons. Different seasons call for different things to be done in order for the whole thing to come together. When you look at Ecclesiastes chapter 3, starting at verse 1, it says, there is a time for everything and a season for every activity under the heavens. I think a lot of people, we got to be able to understand that, look, there's a time for everything and a season for every activity under the heavens. A time to be born and a time to die. A time to plant and a time to uproot. A time to kill and a time to heal. A time to tear down and a time to build. A time to weep and a time to laugh. A time to mourn and a time to dance. A time to scatter stones and a time to gather them. A time to embrace and a time to refrain from embracing. A time to search and a time to give up. A time to keep and a time to throw away. A time to tear and a time to mend. A time to be silent and a time to speak. It's big. A time to love and a time to hate. A time for war and a time for peace. So there's different timing. There's different seasons. And even though you might be in the middle of what you need, you're still subject to the seasons. See, it's not always harvest time. We like to talk about harvest time, but it's not always harvest time, y'all. There's a time to plow sometime. That means, it's times that we got to lay the groundwork for a later harvest, lay the groundwork and lay the foundation. There's a time to sow, meaning there's some digging that has to be done. You got to be able to make sacrifices and release seed into the ground that you're plowing, right? Whether you're building a business, whether you're starting a new career, whatever the case may be, there's a time to plow. There's a time to sow and make sacrifices. Then there's a time to wait. There's waiting time for those seeds to start producing. And during those times, you got to continue to be diligent. You got to be patient while you work. And then there's harvest time. Then there comes a time where it's time to enjoy the fruits of your labor. But it's not always harvest time. And there's things that have to be done in order to build up the harvest time. And even during harvest time, harvest time is one of the busiest seasons of the year, right? We got to recognize when it's harvest time, because if you don't grab your harvest when it's time, your harvest can go rotting out there in the field, or somebody else can get it. So we always got to be aware of the time and of the seasons. And I want to end this video by reading you an excerpt from my book, The Other Side of Money, Becoming a Person God Can Trust. And this is from chapter 3. It says in Genesis 8:22, as long as the earth endures, seed time and harvest, cold and heat, summer and winter, day and night will never cease. Here, God gives us an entire provision formula and system that will continue to bless us as long as the earth remains. In this, he put a process in place called seed time and harvest, in which a man could continuously produce. Cold and heat have to do with climate. We need to be aware of the climate so we know what to sow and do in which climate. Summer and winter are seasons. We go through different seasons of life and need to be aware of what financial season we're in so we can plan, sow, and do accordingly. Then there's day and night, which have to do with timing. Timing is defined as the selection of the best time or speed for doing something in order to achieve the desired or maximum result. Jesus knew this in John 9:4-5 when he said, as long as it is day, we must do the works of him who sent me. Night is coming when no one can work. While I'm in the world, I am the light of the world. Now, while he was not talking about finances here, he was talking about timing. He had a window of time and opportunity to do what he had to do, and we must be aware of our windows as well. So listen, even though you might be in the middle of everything that you need right now, you're rooted, you have water, so to speak, everything you need, you have mentors speaking into your life, you're learning and all these different things, you're working, you're still subject to the seasons. So be encouraged by that. Y'all, like this video, share this video, let me know how Mindset Monday is blessing you, and also pick up a copy of my book, The Other Side of Money, Becoming a Person God Can Trust. You get it on Amazon.com. Just search the title or search my name. Y'all, but like the video, share the video, and I'll see y'all next week on Mindset Monday. Be blessed.